Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Mrs. Smith 88. So today I am doing a video that makes me a little bit nervous, a little bit uncomfortable, but it has been asked and it is time that I address it for those that keep asking. And that is my weight loss story, weight loss journey. Now I'm doing this totally off the cuff and so forth. I do not have anything written out. I did not pre-plan to do this video. I decided, you know what, today's the day I'm going to sit down and I'm going to go ahead and talk to you guys about my weight loss. So if you guys have been watching me for the last, I think I've been on YouTube like 5-7 years. You guys know that I was a pretty hefty girl. I used to be 341 pounds. Yes, you heard that right. 341 pounds. So let me give you a little bit of story about my body type, I guess I would say. So I am 5'9", so I'm relatively tall. A lot of people would be like, oh, well, I never guessed that you were like that much and that kind of stuff, because my height did do me some favors. I've struggled with my weight my entire life. I have never really been super skinny. I mean, yeah, there was a time in my life that I was super skinny, but it didn't last long. Smallest I've ever been in my life was 132 pounds. I was a size 7, and it was approximately when I was like 14, 15 years old. My struggle with my weight started obviously in high school. I started picking up the pounds, but I mean, I wasn't grossly huge. I got up to like 170 pounds, and it didn't look bad because of my height. Then I met my daughter's dad, and I've always been a stress eater. I've struggled with stress eating my entire life. And him and I, we got into some legal issues and that kind of stuff. Maybe one day I'll do a story time on that, because that is a relatively unique story nonetheless. So we got into some legal troubles, and this was before we had our daughter or anything like that. And I will say that there was like a no contact order between us. And when you're young and you're dumb, you want something that you can't have. So I kept pursuing the relationship with him. It was not a healthy relationship. The stress of going to court and that kind of stuff. I started packing on the weight, and I got up to 220 pounds. So from 170 to 220, I gained 50 pounds, and by then I was about 19. So from 16 to 19, I gained 50 pounds, and I got up to 220 pounds. 19, I got pregnant with my daughter. I had my daughter at 20, and I was up to 240 pounds when I had her. After I had her, I decided, oh, I'm going to go on this crash diet because I just popped a baby out. I should be able to fit into my normal clothes. I shouldn't have to wear maternity clothes. And I got down to about 207, was fitting into my streetwear and that kind of stuff. And then my relationship started falling apart. So I've always had these ups and downs with my daughter's dad. And we were together on and off for approximately 10 years. So from the time I was 20 to 26, once again, I continued to struggle with my weight. And I quickly put on a lot, and I mean a lot of weight. I remember one day going to the doctors and crying because I seen over 300 pounds. I seen 304. I didn't know what to do. It became a point where I was just so depressed with my weight. I didn't know how to handle it, what to do, and so forth. So I just let myself go. And I let it get higher and higher and higher. And then when I was 28, I hit 341. I think it was 341.3 to be precise. I definitely have it on my Instagram. I will have my weight loss Instagram listed below, as well as my fitness pal that I use. We'll get into that in a little bit. So 341.3, and I had dieted on and off in the 2 years prior to me losing weight. and my weight fluctuated anywhere from the 317 mark to 341, because there was a point where my brother actually broke his foot, had to go to physical therapy. So I would make it a point to go with him to physical therapy because it was at our local natatorium, and I would go work out and that kind of stuff. And I tried to get him to commit to going to the gym with me and staying with me going to the gym until I got under 300 pounds, because I've never been good at losing weight on my own. I always need a partner or a buddy to keep me motivated to go to the gym and so forth. So that gets you to the point where that I was 28 and at my highest 341.3, and I was at a point where I just hated life. I felt like I was going to end up dying, because a little bit of my family back history is I do come from a family that struggles with obesity. My father passed away at 37 from a massive heart attack, and he was about 370 pounds. So he died of a massive heart attack at 37. His sister, she died in her 40s of a, I believe it was a pulmonary embolism, once again another form of a blood clot, and she was 420 pounds. So I felt that if I kept on the track I was on, I was going to kill myself. And I mean, it was a suicide by food mission. If I did not get my act together, I was going to die. And I was absolutely terrified, because I had a child, and I had a child I needed to live for and be there for, because I was no longer with her father. She was dependent on me. She only had me. And I needed to make sure that I was going to be a parent that was going to be around. So some of you guys might think that this is the easy way out. It's not. I chose weight loss surgery. So I chose a weight loss surgery 2 years ago, which would have been 2017. I went through Akron General Medical Center, Dr. Daigle. I did the 6-month weight loss program, and I will say that I struggled with the weight loss program, because during the 6-month period, my goal was to lose, I believe, a total of 20 pounds. So relatively easy as long as you follow a plan and so forth. You go in each month, you do your weigh-in, you see the nurse practitioner, you see a dietitian, you're supposed to keep a food journal and so forth. Relatively easy process as long as you are committed. And don't get me wrong, I was committed, but once again, I fell into a really bad relationship. I was actually engaged to be married at this point in time to a guy, and he struggled with alcoholism, and he was super verbally abusive and that kind of stuff. So I fell back on emotional eating. I did see a psychologist during this process, because you do have to have a psychiatric evaluation for weight loss surgery. So her and I, we negotiated terms, and she asked me how I would deal with this, and I told her that I would continue to see her on a regular basis. So I did manage to get my approval. It did take me longer than 6 months to get my approval for surgery, and I did choose to go with gastric bypass over the sleeve. And the reason why I chose to go with gastric bypass over the sleeve is I found through a lot of support groups, a lot of people that have the sleeve end up going back later in life for a revision. I wanted to be one and done with my surgery. I didn't want to deal with revisions. This was the only surgery I wanted to have, because I've never had a lot of surgeries in my lifetime. I've only had 2 other surgeries besides my gastric bypass. So I chose to go with gastric bypass, not to mention you are likely to lose 10% more weight with gastric bypass. And also another reason why a lot of people end up getting a revision from the sleeve to bypass is a lot of people end up suffering with really bad acid reflux. I had really bad acid reflux even before surgery, so I didn't even want to think about dealing with that. So I went ahead and I had gastric bypass. My gastric bypass surgery was on December 5th of 2017. And yes, you lose weight rapidly. So you lose weight really, really quick. And they say that you usually have 12 to 18 month window where you lose this weight, and then you kind of just stall out. So I will say this, I didn't have 12 months. I didn't even have 8 months. I didn't have 12 months and I didn't have 18 months. I had about 8 months of good, I guess 10 months. 10 months of good weight loss. So I went from 341.3 pounds, and I did not lose my 20 pounds during, well, I guess you could say I did lose my 20 pounds during the 6-month period, because you do go on a 2-week liquid diet, the liver shrink diet for gastric bypass surgery. Not all surgeons do that, but my surgeon did. And just in that 2-week period, I did drop 13 pounds. So I did meet the weight loss criteria for insurance. So day of surgery, I think I was right around 318, 321. And then after bypass, from December 5th to approximately October of 2018, I did manage to get down to 221 pounds, which would be a 120 pound loss. So yes, I lost 120 pounds in a 10-month period. So yeah, that's great. But I'm going to tell you guys, if you do not follow plan, you're going to gain. And that kind of stuff, that's the point I'm at now. That's why I've been reluctant to do this video. Because, like I said, I'm a stress eater. I don't cope well with my emotions at all. My mother passed in October of 2018. And it was unexpected. And she was kind of on me about my weight. She's like, oh, you're losing too much weight. It doesn't look good on you and that kind of stuff. Because once again, I am a tall girl. I'm 5'9". I do have a larger bone structure and that kind of stuff. And I will say, with her passing, even though I'm an emotional eater, I tended to do the exact opposite, and I didn't eat at all, and I was able to get down to 217 pounds. So I didn't eat for a week, was able to get down to 217 pounds, which is about a 125 pound loss. And then I got married, I got comfortable, and I started to gain weight back because I didn't follow program. Program is you logged your food. For a person of my height, I should be getting 60 to 80 grams of protein a day. They don't really have us count calories, they have us counting protein. Protein should be your #1 focus. Protein and fiber. Protein and fiber. So lots of protein and lots of fiber. Basically, you want to eat a lot of meat, you want to eat a lot of vegetables. You're allowed to have fruit, but the sugar content can be high. I do eat fruit. You're allowed to have healthy fats like salad dressing and mayonnaise, because that helps with your hair, that helps with your nails and that kind of stuff. As you guys could tell, I have a lot of hair still. Some people that have gastric bypass end up suffering with really severe hair loss because they're not getting enough healthy fat in their diets. They also deal with the vitamin deficiencies. That's another thing I guess I will tell you guys. I took myself off of all my vitamins. I do not take any of my vitamins. So I'm probably not the most positive influence to follow when it comes to gastric bypass. So I had gastric bypass, lost about 125 pounds, got married, started gaining my weight back, and I hit 235 pounds. So I gained approximately 17 pounds. I am, almost 2 years post-op. It's common for people who have had bypass to start gaining weight at the 2-year mark. But the thing is I'm at a point in life where I'm not going to let my weight get out of hand again. I'm not going to let myself see the 300 pound mark again. I'm not going to let myself see the 341. I'm not going to let myself see the 260 or the 280 or anything like this. I finally am at a spot in life where I can recognize that I have a weight problem, and I am the one who is in charge of my weight problem. It is only me who controls my weight. Yes, gastric bypass is a tool, and it's going to help me in that kind of stuff. It's going to help me not eat as much. I don't eat a lot and that kind of stuff. If you guys follow me on MyFitnessPal, you will see I do consume probably about 12 to 1400 calories a day. 1400 is on the higher side, and that's usually when I work out and so forth. So anyway, I hit 235 and now I'm back to the gym and I'm back to working out. So maybe I will continue to do videos with you guys and update you guys on my progress, because my goal is I'd really like to see at least 199 so I can be out of 200, but my ultimate goal would be to be 180 pounds, because at 180 pounds and 5'9", yes, I would still technically be considered overweight. I wouldn't be considered obese, but I would be considered overweight based on medical books. But 180 looks good on my height and for my bone structure. And I think it would get me down to a size that I would be really happy at. So, speaking of sizes, let me address that. So, at my highest, I was in a very tight Lane Bryant size 26. Had to have the extra stretch in my jeans, otherwise those babies were not going on. And then now I am a size 16. At 217, I wore between a 14 and 16. Now I'm a solid 16. When it comes to pant size, I really don't have a goal. It's more of looking at the numbers and seeing where I would be happy at with the numbers. So my plan of attack to continue on with my weight loss is to follow through with what I've learned from my nutritionist through having gastric bypass, and that is to always log my food, hold myself accountable with what I eat, stick to a high protein diet, make sure I'm getting a good amount of fiber, and work out on the regular. So I recently bought myself a gym membership. I went with a cheap one, Planet Fitness, Black Card, $20 a month. I have a friend that goes with me. Right now I am only doing 3 days a week. I'd like to get to the point where I'm doing 5 days a week. Also, I live in a state where we have a wonderful metro park system with lots of bike and hike trails. And we have the fall hiking spree coming up, so I'm looking forward to partaking in that because I am trying to live a healthier lifestyle. I've had to sit down and talk to my husband. My husband knows that I struggle with my weight. My husband has known me since my highest. He knew me through my lowest. He has vowed to love me unconditionally no matter what weight I am, because he knows I struggle with my weight. But he also knows that I need a partner in my marriage that is going to be there to support me in this and kind of be my cheerleader. I need somebody to cheer me on, to encourage me with my weight loss journey. Him and I were talking last night. I'm like, you have to realize, I know you like to go out to eat a lot. I know you like to take me out to restaurants, but that's not the lifestyle I can be living. I need to be living a lifestyle where I'm prepping food at home so I know my calorie content and I know my protein and so forth. I need to be the one in control of what I am introducing into my body to eat. So I told him I will make a compromise and we can go out to eat once a week. The rest has to be meals that we plan ahead. I want to plan ahead and not have any stress. So maybe I'll do a video on how I do my meal planning. And like I said, do updates for you guys on my weight loss, because my ultimate goal is to get down to 180 pounds. So I have approximately 55 pounds to lose. And I look forward to updating you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. Bye, everyone.